In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to sew your puff and pencil Capri dress. Start by ironing interfacing onto the wrong side of all facing pieces. Make sure that the side with the glue is facing the wrong side of the fabric. Then zigzag or overlock around the pockets, shoulder seams, side seams, center back up to the notch, and the outer edge of the facings. Transfer the dot markings to the wrong side of the fabric. Fold each dot and pin in place. Start sewing from the side seam and sew along the marked line, tapering off at the tip. Tie the threads instead of backstitching when you reach the tip. Press the dots upwards with an iron. Place the back pieces right sides together. Pin and sew from the notch down to the hem along the center back. Press the seam open with an iron. Now we're going to attach the pockets. Place the front piece right side up. Align the pocket bags right side down at the pocket markings. Pin in place. Sew each pocket 0.8 centimeters or 2/8 of an inch from the edge, starting and stopping at the notches. Repeat for the back piece, then fold the pockets out and press with an iron. With the wrong side facing out, press the pocket seam allowance toward the pockets. Turn the dress over and sew the pocket back to the seam allowance, 0.2 centimeters or 1/8 of an inch from the seam. Repeat on the back piece. Lay the front and back pieces right sides together. Sew the shoulder seams and press them open with an iron. Pin the front and back together from the armhole to the hem, making sure the pockets align. Sew from the armhole down to the hem, sewing around the pockets as you go. When you reach the top of the pocket, let the needle stay in the fabric while lifting the presser foot and turning the dress. Put the presser foot down again and continue to sew. Do the same thing when you reach the bottom of the pocket. This way you will get a sharp corner. Press the seams open except around the pockets. Fold the hem up by 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch, then press with an iron. Fold again by 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch. Press with an iron and then top stitch 2 centimeters or 3/4 of an inch from the edge. Place the front facing with the right side up and lay the back facings on top with the right side down. The left back facing should be placed on the left side and the right back facing on the right side. Match the shoulder seams. Sew along the shoulder seams on both sides. Press the seam allowance open and flat with an iron. Turn the dress so the right side is facing out and the back of the dress is facing you. Place the left back facing right side down along the edge of the underlap and pin it in place. Sew along the edge with a 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance until the underlap ends. Press the seam allowance open and flat with an iron. Fold the left back facing out so the right side is facing you. At the fold line you've marked, fold the facing back over so the back piece and back facing are right sides together again. Press the folded edge nice and flat. This is your underlap where the button will be placed. Now match the entire neckline facing, making sure it's right sides together and aligning the edges and shoulder seams. Sew all the way around the facing edge. Cut notches in the 4 sharp corners and trim the corners of the right and left back facings. Turn the facing inside the dress with the right side facing out and press the edge so it's nice and smooth. Place the dress with the right side of the back piece facing up. Ensure that the underlap is flat under the right back facing and the edges at the top align. Pin the underlap and right back piece together. Sew 4 centimeters or 1.5 inch horizontally on the right back piece, starting from the right side of the dress. Begin sewing exactly where the seam of the 2 back pieces end at the notch. Now fold the underlap away so that it doesn't get sewn to the right back facing and the back piece. Mark the line and the corner of the line to ensure you get a straight seam. Start sewing exactly where you finished the horizontal seam and sew up along the edge of the right back piece. Stop the seam 2 centimeters or 3/4 of an inch before you reach the neckline. Leave the needle in the fabric, pull the presser foot up and then turn the dress. Sew around the neckline with a 2 centimeters or 3/4 of an inch seam allowance. Stop the stitching at the seam where the underlap and left back piece meet. Now attach a button and sew a buttonhole. The button should be placed in the center of the marked cross on the underlap. If your sewing machine doesn't have a buttonhole function, you can either use press studs or learn how to sew a buttonhole by hand. If your machine allows, then follow your machine's manual to sew the buttonhole. Use the marked cross from the pattern piece as a guide. The buttonhole should be placed horizontally from the cross, extending towards the side of the dress. Join the sleeve facings at the short ends and press open. Pin them to the armholes right sides together, starting by matching the shoulder seams and the side seams. Sew around the armhole to attach it. Trim the seam allowance, notch the curve, and turn the facing to the inside. Either understitch or top stitch 2 centimeters from the edge. And that's it. Now you're done with your Capri dress, and we can't wait to see it. So remember to tag us on Instagram or TikTok if you like.